Ep.1.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Ransom, and this is episode 1 of a brand new podcast. It's called Nerd Rage in the Cage. This is basically just a podcast with a bunch of guys, a bunch of friends who have been playing video games for the past 8 years. And, let's introduce everybody. From the East Coast, we're going to start on the East Coast. Shane from New Jersey. You guys know him as No Side. We're actually on his Twitch channel right now. So, Shane, go ahead and say hi.
Hello. What's up?
From Texas, El Paso, Texas, we got Steve Bronco Champ Ochoa.
Oh, snap. I like my middle name. That's much better.
Texas girlfriend.
All right.
Right now.
And from the southern coast of California, Mark. Here's the thing. I've known Mark for like 8 years now, but I don't think I've ever said his last name. Is it Galong or is it Galang?
I think it's Galang. I'm not sure
I
either.
think it's Galang.
I'm pretty sure. I think he needs to go back to his origins and when he was born to figure that out.
To the textbooks.
Because every group of friends needs a raging Asian in the group.
Yeah.
So, all right. So this is going to be a podcast basically just about video games, tech, culture, movies, a whole bunch of great stuff. And what are you guys playing right now?
Well, currently I'm playing nothing, but I might turn on a little bit of Warframe in a little bit and get a little bit of more progression throughout the game itself.
No, Bronco and Oni, you guys are playing GTA 5, right?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm playing a lot of too.
And Payday.
Wish I had my PS3 in my room right now.
Have you guys beaten it yet, or are you guys getting close?
I honestly don't even know what close is in Grand Theft Auto, because this is the very first Grand Theft Auto game where I've actually tried the story. The other ones I did try, but I never got as far as I did in this one. So there is a really good, story to it, because doing the heists are fun, except the recent one, the submarine. But beyond that, the story's actually pretty interesting, but I honestly don't know where it begins and ends.
That submarine mission sucks, doesn't it?
You know, I heard about it, I haven't got to it yet.
The submarine mission was horrible. It's useless.
It's the absolute worst. Because here's the thing: like, the game is so good, and I'm a lot further than you are, so you have a lot to see, and there's a lot of great moments in the game. But man, looking back and thinking back to that moment, it's the roughest part of the game because it's so slow, it's so boring, and for a game that's so much fun, it's just like, for me, it's like my personal low spot of the game so far.
There's nothing going on when you're in the ocean. It's like, yeah, it's cool, it's pretty, but the submarine's just slow as hell, dude. And then you can't do a drive-by. You can't go and break the glass and start shooting some sharks or anything. You just gotta keep going with the flow, and you're like, oh.
I think that's scenario 101 of not breaking a window underwater. Just saying.
My character's Aquaman. He can breathe, alright?
Yo, game logic.
Is that passable?
Sure. Let's call it that.
I mean, you can fly, like, cheap down and fall off the sky. For sure you can dive down as far as you want, right?
See, I haven't even got that far in the game yet. I mean, I heard about that mission and all that. A lot of my friends are talking about it, but the point is, when I'm playing GTA, I start doing the missions, and then I just suddenly find myself randomly shooting people in the face and just trying to run away from the cops and having as much fun as possible. So, I mean, like, I don't know. It's kind of hard for me to keep on the story when I just want to go out and do all these random things and all the amazing new features that they put into the game itself. So,
see, that's what I was telling Ransom. That the only reason I'm playing the story now is that you're able to lose the cops finally. Like, you can tell where they're looking, so you can finally lose them. Instead of in the past, you just, like, do cheat codes, and you're like, I'm going to get 6 stars and start killing the Grand Theft Auto military.
Oh, yeah, you had to do, like, a massacre, and the only way to get rid of them was to die.
Yeah, to die.
The only way.
You couldn't do anything else.
And now my dog's going crazy.
When you're in a vehicle, it's a lot easier. But if you actually get into a shootout with the cops, like, I swear, these guys are fucking Robocop. Like, these guys are ridiculous. Like, they have pinpoint accuracy. They can shoot you from across a map. It's insane.
Oh, no, they are. They're extremely accurate. It's kind of ridiculous. I hope that they do tone it down, though. I would rather have a lot more realism in the game. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's a Rockstar game. There's not 1,000% of a realism factor into it, but I still like a mixture of some realism and some arcadic moments. But they really need to be, like, fine-tuned. You know what I mean?
All right, so since everybody's playing GTA 5, let me ask you this. What's the craziest thing you've seen so far playing the game?
Oh, God. Well, I mean, since the fact that I haven't gotten that far, I really thought that the two dogs actually going at it during the chop mission when you had to, what was it, find
Oh,
the
there were
guy.
those guys too.
That was just ridiculous. I mean, just being in a dog's view and just having that POV position of just like, it was so wrong on so many levels, and I was speechless.
Wait, you were in the POV position with Chop when that happened?
Yeah, because I was like sniffing out for the guy, and I didn't know where Chop was going, and then a dog showed up.
I didn't even know you can do that.
I didn't
Yeah,
know you can do that
you see,
either.
you guys
That's
gotta
great.
you guys gotta replay the mission. It
Dude,
was the funniest thing in the world, man. I cracked up, and the worst thing about it was my grandfather was right next to me. This guy's like 89 years old. He's like, what the fuck are they doing in these games now? I'm just like, oh god, I'm going to hell.
What about you, Bronco?
Pressing square at random objects. I mean, the character jumping has got to be one of the funniest things about that game. You can run it. You can run and press square into another character, and it's really funny because he'll just jump and then he'll ragdoll and he'll just fall. And
Oh,
it's
when you
really,
press square and circle.
yeah.
I was going to say that next time you play the game, actually just press square and then immediately press circle and see what happens.
Just do a swan dive, face first, right to the pavement.
I like climbing to the top of big buildings and jumping off like that and just killing myself.
Dude, the cranes. I don't. There's a construction going on. There's a crane that I saw my brother climbing, and it just never ended. Like he wanted to play Grand Theft Auto, but the majority of Grand Theft Auto was fucking him climbing like one crane. I was like, this is taking forever. And he finally got up there, and the first thing he did was like, oh, I'm gonna jump. But never mind. I'm not saying it in a bad way because I was instigating. I was like, you better jump, and he did, and he hit a building. Don't you think that's always the worst thing ever? You're like, I'm gonna jump from so high. And then you land on the building and it ruins it all because you wanted to actually hit the floor.
It pisses me off. It really does. I'm not gonna lie. It really does piss me off. You put all that effort into doing one thing and then wall.
And then you hit the top of a building and then it's like game over.
That was like
Yeah,
jumping off the
because
Empire State Building. It was the same thing. You wanted to make it all the way down, hit your parachute, but you always hit the goddamn ledge the second you're about to
Yeah,
hit your parachute.
you hit the outgrowth of the building and it was like, oh well, because Nico never jumped that high. When he jumped off, screw Grand Theft Auto 4, him and his cousin. I'll never go bowling again, man.
You gotta wonder now, like now that you said the Empire, like you actually said like a real building, the Empire State Building. How many people actually try to jump off that and they're just so disappointed because they want to die on the ground, but instead they get killed by smacking the side of the building.
Or just breaking your ankle and stopping right there.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So the craziest thing for me playing Grand Theft Auto 5, I was having a shootout with some cops, and we're on the freeway, and I was using a car as cover, so I was using the car as cover, and I'm shooting at the police officers, and there was a car that was behind the police officers that just freaked out, like they saw bullets coming their way, so the driver just freaked out. You heard them just go, "Oh shit!" And then he just like whipped around the police officers. He hit the car that I was using as cover, and it killed me. It just sandwiched me in between the car and the pavement, and it was just the most ridiculous, the most random thing I've ever seen. And it was amazing because it totally wasn't scripted, and it was just so funny. And like that's the thing that I like about Grand Theft Auto 5 is that like I don't care if I die, like because a lot of the times when you die, you're still having fun.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the one good thing about it. I mean, when it comes down to any game, really, that's open world. I mean, there's so much more that you can do. It's a lot more. I'm not gonna really say personalized, but it's more of a freedom factor that you can actually map out your story yourself, and that's what Grand Theft Auto really brings a lot to the table. And I mean, what they've done since 4, I mean, it's actually kind of impressive, really, how much they put into it, detail-wise and gameplay-wise.
Well, really quick about Grand Theft Auto 5, what bugs me is... No, it doesn't bug me. I shouldn't say that word. But when I'm driving, and it's really cool because it's such a large map, and you're driving, and then you realize you got to go all the way across town, but you're in a car. And if for some reason I'm like, oh, God, I got to drive like 4 miles. But I was never like that in Skyrim. And in Skyrim, you got to walk everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Unless you fast travel. But that never bugged me. But in Grand Theft Auto, I'm like, you're like, well, I got to go drive to, like, Trevor's freaking hillbilly trailer over there. And that always bugged me because I'm like, I'm in the actual like downtown city. I'm doing cool things, and then I gotta go all the way out there. But I remember playing San Andreas, and for some reason I used to love just driving around. I never did any missions, as I said earlier, so I always thought it was cool seeing what they did in the game. And as I
See,
told you guys before, my
I
favorite
don't
thing in
like
the game
running
is
around so much in Grand Theft Auto 5. Like, I actually really love the whole driving mechanics. What actually kind of bugs me a little bit is when you're on foot. Like, I just feel like the on foot mechanics in the game still need a
Clunky.
lot of work. Yeah, because it's so clunky. It's weird because I mean you're seeing this game get perfect tens all over the place. IGN, Kotaku, whatever. All these websites are giving this game like perfect scores. And while it's really good, do you guys feel like it deserves the perfect 10, or do you think
It
that
doesn't. Have you tried the gunplay? It's so
It is. It's
hit and miss. It's horrible.
yeah,
especially
it
like,
is.
I mean, I've had some moments already where I want to hit the damn propane tank that's next to this guy. But when I try to go to aim over to it with the whole auto aim thing, it's like number one, if you do have auto aim on for the the snap characters, whatever, when you're trying to fire at them, it's gonna go straight to them. But if you try to move back over to the left to shoot that propane tank, it's gonna go snap back to the guy to the left again. And it's almost kind of like the same thing with the when you have it off. It's the point that you overshoot it every single time. It's not exactly pinpoint, you know.
I don't like sniping in that game. I love sniping in just about every game. Sniping's like a thing I do. But in sniping in Grand Theft Auto just isn't fun. I don't It's like really slow to move the scope, and he just like he breathes so heavily. It's like this guy just went for a run eating the cheeseburger and he decided I'm gonna snipe somebody.
The biggest
So
problem
like
is that they had Max Payne and they like refined the controls for gunplay so much, and they took like the driving from Midnight Club, and that works out a lot better. But how the gun combat is just not translating too well in the open world because there's too many things to lock onto.
Yes, that's the thing. I mean, but the one thing about it is that when it comes down to like a mission set, you're always gonna lock on to only enemies in your area. But I mean, then again, still when you're not doing that, it's the same exact issue, you know. So I mean, I hope maybe they will patch it, maybe they won't. But then again, I haven't seen that many people complain about it yet, you know.
do you know if you're able to turn it off like in the settings or
Yeah, you can
anything?
turn
You're
it off.
you're able to, but then you still overshoot everything that you're aiming at, like no matter what. It's kind of it's annoying. Like it's a really big annoyance to me because when I play a shooter, third person or first person, I'm really hoping that it's just spot on, you know. But in this case, it's really not. So
That's why you
with
should get The Last of Us. Forward.
My Last of
yeah,
Us game.
you
I'll try. I'm waiting for
you, dis-
PS4.
you
Yeah,
disappoint me,
for
Shane.
people who are listening right now, Shane is refusing to buy The Last of Us. He says he's going to wait until the next gen, but
I
dude,
know,
come on.
party pooper.
It's the best game that's come out this year. I will say, and here's the sad part is that like we were talking about this before we started recording is that like GTA 5 is going to win all the awards,
Oh.
and it's sad. Like we know that it's going to win all the awards, but the three of us that have played The Last of Us, we all feel the same, right?
Yeah,
it should definitely.
the only problem was the reason we think it's not going to win is just because Grand Theft Auto 5 is cross-platform. It's everywhere. Not everyone was able to experience The Last of Us, even though it's probably one of PlayStation's best-selling games, or is. You might want to check that, but it was so great. Like I honestly don't even. If I compare it to anything I've ever played before, it's always Final Fantasy VII because that was like one of my favorite games of all time. But Last of Us is my number one now for I don't know how long. But Naughty Dog did it again, just like they always will. Jesus Christ, that was fantastic.
No, they would do. They put out very, very good and detailed games. I mean, even story-wise, Drake's Fortune. I mean, that's still one of the best games I've ever played. Like, I will always have memories of that game. But I mean, again, it's only on one console, and anything that doesn't go multi-platform is like stuck in
But
the dust.
but I think that's what makes it, and that's I guess the ironic part about it is if it's on one console and it shines so bright like that, I think that's what makes it, I guess, really good.
That's
'Cause,
what
I
makes
mean-
it unique, kind of.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, I mean, like when a developer only has to worry about one platform, they could really just go all out. They don't have to worry about, doing different codes for different consoles. And I
Especially
think
with
that's
this generation.
hmm
Well, I mean, this
And
gen's going to be
honest,
completely
this
different,
has been
though.
a
It
long
really is.
generation, and it's how many years now? It's been 8 years. This
Yeah,
is like the longest generation I can remember because the PS2 lasted what, like 5, 6 years?
more than that, actually.
Yeah.
It's still out
No, but
there. But
I mean,
it's
before PS3 came out, I think it was what, like 6 years.
I think somewhere along those lines, like 6 or 7 years, it was still out. I mean, they still release games for it, and I'm not gonna lie, the system was awesome. I mean, I've had some of the best games I've ever played on that system,
What,
and
PS2?
yeah,
Didn't they stop releasing games recently?
Now, actually,
gets
the last game that's going to be on the PS2 is actually FIFA 14, which
yep.
just came out this week, and it's the last game that's ever going to be on PS2.
So it
That's crazy.
was still a high
That's
selling
crazy.
game.
Snake
So.
one.
I saw
I
a
haven't seen
sign
it.
in the GameStop. It said they won't be accepting any more like PS2, like anything related, and it was
Stop taking
it,
them around June.
it was really sad because like you're like, damn, that's crazy, isn't it? You're on PlayStation 4, and it doesn't feel like that long ago. You're just playing the PlayStation 2.
Yep.
It it's really I saw it and I was kind of sad.
Yeah, it is.
It makes
It's
me feel
very
old.
saddening. I mean, that was the console I first started playing online games with. I talked to Ransom about this before. I mean, SOCOM 2 was like my introduction into the online gameplay world. And I mean, I had so much fun going online for the first time. It was like crack. It was so addictive. Like I came home from school and that was the first thing I did. I just went straight online to a game. So I mean, that was really like the standpoint of where games were going at that point.
Let's
First
go back
online
to
game.
GTA 5. Let me ask you this, and then we'll move on to the next topic. Three main characters. Who do you guys like the most?
Franklin.
I think Michael.
I'm gonna say Trevor.
I'm
I
a
don't-
Trevor guy. I am definitely a Trevor guy. It's just so funny, man, because you could snap between characters. Like I just really enjoy snapping to Trevor's character because you never know what the fuck he's going to be doing.
That's
Like
crazy. It's
it's
nuts.
absolutely insane. Like for example, like today I was playing as Franklin and I was driving all over the place because I love driving as Franklin. I think his driving's the best because he has that special ability.
You
But then I'm
never
like, let's see what Trevor's doing. I'm like, let's see what Trevor's doing. So I snap over to Trevor, and he's like on an island in his underwear. He's waking up from like having like a drunken night out, and he's just surrounded by dead bodies. And it's just like, what the hell just happened? Like it's awesome.
I mean, like the stories that
uh,
I've had with him so far, are just like completely like ape shit wild. It's like something that you would see like an American Horror Story or something. Like just the story behind him is just so ridiculous and so outlandish with his actions, and like that's what really brings me into his character. It's just he can snap at any moment. He's not like a predetermined person who
Yeah,
just stays
but
on a
he's not-
track.
I was so
He
scared of him. He was
snaps, but he's
playing
not
the
like
game.
dumb. If
Yeah.
you just watch his actions, he might be really aggressive, but he's not stupid either.
No, he
Yeah,
plans
the way
everything
he
out.
talks is like he's very articulate about it. He
Yeah.
like just stuff to Wade like
He,
like
he
he's
might
a
be
professor or something.
he might be absurd to the nth degree, man. But that guy is an intellect.
He's definitely a conspiracy theorist, though. Like when you listen to some of the shit he talks about, like the government and stuff, it's pretty amazing.
Oh, he's tripped out. When it
Yeah.
comes to that, yeah, he's tripped
I'll
out.
relate to him on that.
I think, what else do we got to talk about today?
I like Franklin because he has a dog. I'll put that out there.
Yeah,
Stop.
Chop.
It's
You
amazing.
You can't beat that.
I'm
That's why I
still
like
so
Franklin.
mad you guys didn't know about the POV. The
I think
point of-
Michael's like this entire story is just more dynamic because he has so many other people to deal with. He has like this
I hate
entire
Michael's kid.
family dynamic.
I hate his kid, Jimmy.
Yeah,
Michael's family sucks, man.
Is
Like,
he,
You know,
is
I-
he voiced by
Franklin.
oh god, no, Michael's kid.
Michael.
I can't
Oh,
believe I
you-
forgot
You thinking
his
about
name.
Jonah? What's
Yeah,
his name?
Jonah Hill. Is he voiced
No,
by
it's
him?
not. No, it sounds like him, but it's not
Oh my
him.
god, sounds just like him.
I was gonna say I wanted to
Yeah,
hang out with Jimmy, which is Michael's kid, just so I can run him over. You know that's the cool thing I really liked about Grand Theft Auto because I hate Michael's family. So when I switched back to Michael, one of the playthroughs, he was with his wife and his wife got out of the car and she was gonna go shopping. So Michael was just gonna go on his way, But I saw her still walking, and I'm like, God, I hate this woman. So I ran over her, and then I pressed R2 and L2 at the same time, and like on her freaking face. And I'm like, this is fantastic. I killed her, and I drive away. And 5 minutes later, she sends me a text message saying these, like along the lines of like, these hospital bills aren't going to pay for themselves, you asshole. And I was like, damn it. But
Almost got away with it.
that's the cool thing they throw into Grand Theft Auto is the little subtleties where I didn't actually think I'm going to get a text message from his wife saying the hospital bills. But yeah, I don't like I feel bad for Michael. I just can't play with him because of his family. His family irritates the hell out of me.
Have you, did you
I
guys
I do think that it's really funny that one of the first things that you'd hear Michael say, like in his therapy sessions, is he's bitching and complaining about his kid doing nothing but playing video games. And I was like, that's exactly what we're going to be doing for the next 2 weeks, trying to beat this game.
There's always they have those little messages in there that always just stand out, and you know exactly what it is, and that's what I like about Rockstar. They're always trying to pretty much poke fun at everything that everyone's saying about the game industry and everything. That just things like that they make me laugh. They do.
And
the
on a
Apple
billboard in downtown, they have a picture of a girl, and it says Anna Rex. I thought that was really clever. It was just her first name's Anna, and her last name's Rex. I was like, okay, you guys are.
Radio stations?
What was that?
No,
Oh
Which
yeah, the
radio
radio
have
station.
you guys been listening to in the game?
Honestly, I just turn them off. I'm not
I
gonna
do.
lie.
most of the time I turn it off too because the music isn't that great. But I do get a chance to listen to it when Johnny Cash is on playing General Lee. When there's one song that I really liked on there, but I just blanked it. That's an oldie. But it's by the Steve Miller Band. I'll get back to it right now.
Oh, you guys should listen to the radio stations though. Like even if you don't like the music, like the DJs are freaking hilarious. The talk radio stations are great. The commercials are fantastic. There was actually a commercial. I was driving around today in the game, and for the first time, I heard that they were doing like this Proposition 108, where it's like
Legalize cocaine. That's best.
And my wife is over here like on her iPad, and she's like, "Did he just say legalize cocaine?" And I'm like,
Medical
"Yeah,
cocaine, wasn't it?
yeah, medical purposes. Legalize cocaine for medical purposes."
It's so ridiculous, man.
It was like finding that one guy in that one area where he's telling you about marijuana and then you smoke it, and then but I played as Michael, so he trips.
It fights
and
the
he
aliens.
and he fights aliens.
Yes, that's definitely not just marijuana in that, right?
Yeah, no, dude, I've never done drugs in my life, but I hope to God that's not how it happens.
Well, I don't
can
smoke,
imagine
but I mean,
tripping
I'm
balls.
to college, so
Shane would know.
I used to be the biggest pothead.
I'll
I'm
just
not
tell you
gonna
right now, that's not what happens. That's not what's supposed to happen with marijuana.
No, not at all.
If it does happen, that shit was laced.
Big time.
Oh yeah.
Got some angel dust or something. Christ.
All right, so Shane, I know that you're really big on Steam. How do you feel about this Steam box that's coming out?
All right, so big time Steam user. I'm obviously a PC guy. Went ahead and built myself a rig, all that. And Steam has really been one of the biggest things for me. But then again, with them coming out with an actual console for you to play your Steam games on, number one, I only see it working perfectly with the big picture on Steam. Basically, is what that is turning your computer into a console, really. Full controller support, all that. But the only problem that I see with the Steam box itself is really that once you buy the Steam box, you can't customize it. You can't switch out the things you want. The only thing you really do is switch out the hard drive. Now, the one issue that is going to really come up with that is the fact that if you're big on PC games and you got all these new games coming out that are going to, require bigger hardware and better things, you can't change it. You know what I mean? So that means that you're going to be lacking on graphics later on down the road, and let's be honest, PC gamers love graphics. That's the one thing, that we're really building our PCs for. And it's not going to be customizable like it was. So you're pretty much paying for a console, and I think the last time I looked into it, the price was going to be like $600 to $700 for this thing.
Jesus. Are you kidding?
That's not even kidding. And that was back when they were discussing it with what's it called during G4, but not G4. Wow, E3.
E3?
Yeah, and that just right off the bat, that's a little bit too expensive. That's a little bit too much, especially for something that's not going to be able to be customized.
But they were saying that there's gonna be multiple manufacturers coming out with these things. They're gonna be probably like the Steam OS itself can be used in probably gonna be on the Xbox One or the PS4. So it's not gonna be like just this one Steam box. You can even like find probably they're gonna have a customizable one like you were talking about. It's not just gonna be locked down to that one thing.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing now. If it's going to be customizable, then you're probably going to have to spend a little bit more extra cash to
Yeah,
get that. But why not just build your own PC?
yeah, that's true. It's
You know, so it's a catch-22, and it's really something that I'm not really looking forward to. And honestly, I'm probably not going to buy it. I mean, I'll look it up and see what's the pros and the cons about it, but I'm not
What
really
about
going
the
to sit there
controller?
and buy it.
What
I
about
think we'll
that
just have to
controller?
see.
I showed you guys a controller like right before we started recording, and
The
that thing
controller
is
is
Staring at them
ass.
right
I thought it
now.
was. I thought it was a speaker
What is
for the
that?
Steam box. I thought that's where the sound came out of. I don't even know what that is, dude.
That
it's
is
the
the worst
dumbest
design
controller I've ever
ever.
seen. Now here's the thing. We might be wrong, like we might be talking shit right now, and then like we
It could
put
be
it in our
amazing.
game. It's just amazing, but it looks fucking god awful.
It really does, and I don't see. You said it was supposed to be optimized for first-person shooters, correct?
That's what I read in I think it was like an IGN. It was either IGN or Kotaku, but yeah, they said that it was supposed to be optimized for first person shooters, and I just don't see it. I mean, like there's no sticks. It's like two trackpads.
Well, see, that's the thing, though. If it's trackpads, and you said that also the buttons are in the trackpad itself.
Yeah, the trackpads are clickable. There's a touchpad in between the two trackpads. And then there's four buttons surrounding the touchpads, and there's shoulder buttons. And I think there
There's
might be
actually
rear buttons too.
Um,
Dude, it looks.
buttons inside the trackpad itself. The center trackpad has hotkeys for F6, F5, F7, and T.
Yeah, so you can do your chat messages, a quick load, you can do a screenshot or a quick save.
yeah, but I
That's what you
mean,
want to do with those.
here's the thing, though. I mean, if you're really trying to make a trackpad out of it, you might as well just make a freaking iPad a controller that you can just download an app for. And playing games on an iPad,
But
especially
you
a
have to
first-person
understand.
shooter, is difficult as hell.
Oh, it sucks.
Yeah, having to grip that thing is like horrible.
All right, so I mean, let's think about that and put that into a controller with trackpads. It's going to be the same exact thing because while you're moving and aiming, that means that you have to push down on top of the button that you're actually using a sensor for.
Yeah.
You're probably going to push down the button, slide your finger all the way up, and you're shooting at the fucking sky. So
Well,
I don't see how it's going to work.
if Valve made speakers for Steam, then that's a one design to go with, but I don't see how that thing's going to control anything besides my rage.
Pretty much. I mean, I think it's really ridiculous. I think they're going the wrong way with it. They should
The internet's
really just
having
go
a
with it.
field day though with like people who are good at Photoshop. Everybody's photoshopping it into like a whole bunch of different things. I saw somebody Photoshop it into a Darth Vader helmet.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean,
I thought-
There's a gift for it.
Someone put googly eyes on the big touchpads. It looks hilarious. It says I can't unsee, and I quite honestly just can't unsee the googly eyes on that.
You should see the GIF where it has a bunch of owls and then it shows a flash of the controller.
listen, people come up with some really creative shit for this stuff.
Someone put a Parappa hat on it.
Oh God, no.
That is awesome. Hey, you
That
can't
damn
knock
game.
Parappa. He
But-
has
Is
by
this
far
like
the
next gen? This could be the future of gaming right here.
Yeah,
we just
right.
don't.
The future of fail.
Pokemon.
That's all I see. Oh God, Pokemon.
Yeah,
But
that comes
talking
out-
about
it's
Steam,
like-
what?
Oni, when does Pokemon come out?
12th. So in about 2 weeks.
I'm excited
Yeah.
for this, man. Like, I gotta be honest. Like, I'm actually pretty excited for the new Pokemon game.
I want to
What
see
color
the
are they
Mega
on now?
Evolutions.
It's finally
They're
They're
on. Oh, it's on
They're
X
on,
and Y.
it's an X and Y.
Oh,
They ran out of colors, so they're using
Yeah.
letters. So they got
They-
26 more colors.
They were using the Crayola 120 box, was a sharpener in the back that never worked. They just used all those colors, and they're like, let's just use letters.
Codename Magenta.
I think one of the most really bad crayon names on a Crayola box was like Indian Brick Red. I don't know if you've ever used that color, but that was really bad. I don't think they were thinking when they came up with the name.
I hate it when they put the white crayons in there.
What's wrong with a white crayon?
It's
If you're on
racist.
white paper,
Those are actually super useful.
The white crayons are actually very useful.
I'm just saying. I mean, for like little kindergartners, they're not gonna know about shading and stuff like that. They're just gonna be no. It just doesn't work, man.
It's never too early to learn.
Oh
Yeah,
Christ.
that's how Only Market's good at math.
I learned math at negative .2 years old.
It's so Asian of you.
Damn it,
Oh
Onimar.
God.
Okay.
All right, so Pokemon's coming out. The next gen consoles are going to be coming out in November. Of course, the two big next gen games that everybody's looking forward to,
Yes.
except for Bronco, is
Let's talk
Call of
about it.
Duty and
I don't
Battle.
think they count as next gen games.
Well,
quite.
they are. I mean, don't get me wrong. They're going to
Well,
be
they're-
releasing them first, but then you're going to have
Yeah.
the chance to upgrade them as soon as the next gen comes out for $10 down. So, I mean, number one, I think that's an awesome marketing strategy that they're going with here. I mean, they're basically getting an extra $10 for the game you just paid for.
Yeah.
That's what they did. I want to say that's what they did was how PlayStation played it with the Vita and other games. If a game came out on the Vita and the PlayStation, like the same thing.
Oh, the
you
cross
can-
buy? Yeah.
Yeah, you can get a cross buy. I thought that was freaking fantastic.
No, it really
I know that-
was. And it brought a lot of, you know what I mean? It was kind of a fair value. I'm sorry, but most people would have not bought this game if it wasn't for that. So, I mean, it's really being fair to the customers and, you know, everyone else out there. Just the fact that, you know, I don't have to rebuy this game for $60. I mean, that would have pissed me off. That really
So, are you
would've.
going to buy this game on current gen systems and then upgrade? Is that what you guys plan on doing? or no?
Me
Oh, hell.
personally, I'm waiting for the PS4. Again,
Wait.
you know, I'm a PC guy, so you know I'll have it out the second it comes out, and mine's gonna be current enough as it is. But I will be getting it also for PS4, just so I can play with you guys, of course. But yeah, it's definitely gonna be for PC mainly.
Oni,
What was that?
what about you? What are you going to do?
Picking up the PS4, I'm just waiting for all the games to come out because I think like a 2 week wait isn't a stretch for me to wait for the new Call of Duty or the new Battlefield. Because still have GTA and what online isn't out until like what next week probably.
It comes out October 1st, so yeah.
Well, so in a couple days. So I think we still have a lot of time. That's gonna cook probably a month with you guys, and then I still haven't finished the campaign. So there's a lot of stuff to burn through before even like getting into the new Call of Duty or Battlefield. So definitely gonna be waiting.
I got a backlog of games that freaking mile long, dude. It's
I
ridiculous.
know, dude.
And it
I know,
sucks
I'm
because
poor.
like, next gen is right around the corner, and I'm just like, I still got to finish this game and this game and this game. I still haven't even finished Bioshock Infinite, and to
Yeah.
be honest, I don't even know if I will because you guys are gonna hate me for this. I didn't really like Bioshock Infinite. I thought it was kind of overrated.
No, I really
think-
have no input because everyone's gonna hate me for
Yes.
this anyway because I haven't played it.
You just don't like playing games that are supposed to be good. Like The Last of Us is fantastic, and you're like, no, just no.
No.
I can't. I'm just not
Yeah,
able
'cause,
to.
I mean, there's three games that everybody, like all the big websites are talking about, like game of the year. It's The Last of Us, Bioshock Infinite, Grand Theft Auto 5. Yeah, Infinite just didn't do anything for me, man. I just thought it was kind of boring, and it's been sitting there, and I know I should finish it because like everybody's just like, well, the ending's so great. I
Which
just
one?
don't know if that's ever gonna happen.
Well, I don't know, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, the one thing I'm really mainly excited for next gen is Battlefield 4, and
I
actually,
think Killzone actually has me on the hook because it's open world and it has that Battlefield look to it. Obviously not the destruction, but the open world part has me.
yeah. I mean, I kind of want to get all your opinions on this. I mean, let's just go through it anyway. Ransom, start off with you. I mean, are you more excited for Battlefield 4 or Call of Duty Ghosts?
Personally, me, I'm a Call of Duty guy, and I'll tell you why. Like Call of Duty, I feel like I'm actually doing something when I play that game. Like, I'm somebody who likes to play with my friends, right? So if I'm playing Call of Duty and I'm in a room with my buddies, I know that we're just gonna just absolutely own. But whenever we play Battlefield 3, that's not really the case. Like I feel like
Yeah, we talked about this.
get into, like a Call of Duty mindset. when they're playing Battlefield 3 and they're not playing Battlefield like the way that Battlefield's supposed to be played. And I like to win, you know? So, like, a lot of time when I'm playing Battlefield, like, we're not winning, and it sucks, and I get really frustrated. So, with that respect, I'm more excited.
4-hour matches.
You played with myself and a couple of our other friends, and you won every single time. The only thing about Battlefield is that what you were saying is that they really make it to where you're always getting points no matter what. Like like you can just like you spawn 10 points, you just fucking farted 10 points. They just give you points for everything in Battlefield, dude. It's like it makes you feel special. It's like getting an award in school or like a sports team for participating. You know.
And lost. Here's a trophy.
I think that's how most people level up in that game.
Yeah, like you can lose. Like in Ransom was saying, it's like you can lose, and you can have like 40,000 points in your. Like, who did I just play with? Was North Korea on my team? Holy shit! And you get nowhere. And I guess that's a frustrating part because your team might be a bunch of like
idiots,
dudes who just who never give you ammo. People always say press select, right? It is select, right, on the console to ask for ammo and stuff.
Yeah, while you're facing you get your crosshairs on a teammate who's support,
no one ever gives you anything unless you're a girl. They'll throw everything at. They'll give you their armor. They'll just like do some hack, and then they'll give their clothes to you. If you're a girl and you ask for stuff, they'll give everything to you. But if you're a guy and you want some ammo, they'll be like, tough luck, bitch, and then they'll just go on their own way.
Maybe I'll just make another Scream game, another PlayStation Network account.
I got Big Jugs 92.
Big Jugs. Ani, what do you think, buddy?
I'm picking up Battlefield first, to be honest, because I'm just tired of Call of Duty. It's like this rehash thing every year, even if it's coming from obviously Infinity Ward. It's just the same thing over again.
I don't care about your dog. I really don't care about your mocap dog.
It has a dog and amazing detail and the arms.
You know that mocap
now. Oh my god!
You know that mocap dog's gonna die. You know it.
Oh, right at the end? Yeah, it's gonna be the saddest thing in the world. What?
They're gonna kill the mocap dog.
Here's the thing, yeah, we all know that it's gonna happen. It's still gonna be fucking sad as shit, you know?
It's like Marley and Me.
We're all gonna cry.
It's like that middle child that you love but never show, and then when it goes away, you're sad as hell. But I mean, honestly, I don't really know how to say it. I mean, Call of Duty over the years, I'm sorry, but it's kind of diminished, in my opinion.
It has.
It's really, I feel like it's always the same exact gameplay, just with the perks switched up and all that. I mean, don't get me wrong, you're doing something right, keep doing it, but then again, switch it up a little bit, change it up, make the game a little bit more fresh, and that's why I'm kind of leaning more towards Battlefield 4. Number one, it's a brand new engine that they just created again, you know what I mean? And it brings a lot more gameplay value to it, and also they're introducing Levolution. Now, that in itself has really got me hooked on the game, with all commander, mode and all that aside. Just the fact that your actions in the game itself actually change the map around you, and therefore changing the map and how you have to play that map. Right there, that off the bat just got me completely hooked. So.
But what about the kill streaks, man?
Man, screw it. In Battlefield, you are the kill streak.
Get on that.
Yeah. For me, I've always played Call of Duty since, I don't know, dude. I love the online. And I'm one of those rare people. I think Ransom here might agree with me, but I played Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, mind you, the Modern Warfare's times, for the story. I really liked the story.
Oh, definitely that.
That's where I got Black Ops. Black Ops 2, I legit bought that just because of the story. I just wanted to play the missions, that's it.
I love the story in Modern Warfare. If you haven't played Modern Warfare, I'm sorry, but when Soap died, that was really depressing.
Yeah.
That game has been out for a while now. If they haven't played it, then they can get spoiler.
I played every single Call of Duty, so.
I think the best part was when Ghost died, and the second one.
Oh, they went
that one pissed me off.
That was
man.
like,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like,
that one made me really mad.
Dude,
when he was with Roach,
and I like that whole last mission, I was so pumped. Like I thought I
You
was
get
gonna have
caught
a
off
hard.
guard, man. It's like you're about to leave, and then the guy you've been working for just comes in and kills you. It's like, what
Fuck
just
Shepard.
happened right now? What just happened?
I think I
And
read something online the other day that Ghost is actually going to be.
Oh,
I
if
don't know
you
if he's going to
order
be
it,
a character in the single player game for the next game, or if he's going to be a multiplayer character. I
you get
don't.
a if you pre-order at GameStop, you get the skin for Ghost for multiplayer. It's
For
not an
multiplayer.
actual like character, but it's a
That's
skin.
but
It's kind of
anyways, I really liked the story, and then Black Ops wise, I hated the story because of the AI in Black Ops. I don't know what they use for the AI in Black Ops, but
It's
it
crap.
was it was the most shittiest thing ever. Like I always play on veterans so I can get the trophies easier, you know. Just play on one through and I get all the trophies coming at me.
yeah.
And so I do that, but the AI on veteran was
They're so
so
dumb.
stupid because I'm just like I'm trying to cover and I'm trying to shoot and my guys are just running forward and they're like, hurry up! What are you waiting for? And I'm like, fuck you,
I
bitch!
don't want to get
You can't,
shot.
you can't kick that door down until I'm there, anyways, asshole. Shoot somebody, and they never shoot. And I couldn't finish that game. Oh my god, I couldn't shoot game.
I think
Anyways,
what
I think
made that game was that the other character that Alex kept saying, like what's his name?
you can spoil
was
the
not.
game Black Ops for me. I'm never gonna beat it, so I don't even know what happens to him.
It was Reznov, right?
Yeah, Reznov. His
Yeah.
like just that character made that game. It's just to like find out that he wasn't actually there the entire time. That I just
Lou,
ruined
you're
that
not.
for Bronco.
What's up?
I just ruined that for Bronco.
No, I said it's fine. You can go ahead and ruin it for me, dude. Like it's not even ruining it. I'm not gonna play that game ever again. To hear that, it's kind of a relief, so I know what happens.
It felt like he was a better character than the main character itself. But
They really did kind of make it out that way.
yeah,
But But what kept Call of Duty for me going was the zombies, and then even that after a while
That was the
kind of
main
got like
seller. That really
ki-
was.
on the Treyarch side, yeah.
I mean,
And
think
it kind
about
of
it,
and
man.
the story got harder. Like the story got like really hard to follow. I don't know if you guys follow the story of zombies, but you're
oh
not.
yeah, there's the DLC zombie story, where
Yeah,
like the experiments and stuff.
the zombie story is
It's all kind of fucked up.
difficult. It's all paradoxes and you're every which way of the universe, dude. It's a trip, but
And
it's
the
interesting.
monsters are like related to each other. They're like some family that got nuked or something.
Yeah, it's a
Like-
wild thing, and I think that's what kept me going. But I'd rather have Battlefield because I got the Battlefield 3 for free from PlayStation Plus, and it was really fun. And I played Battlefield 2, and I had a 1943, and they're all really cool. Like it's just it feels more personal when you get a kill because you worked for it.
Pretty
And
much.
Call of Duty, you're running and gunning and all the time. Like you never, if you go without a death in Call of Duty, then I'm sorry, but there's just something going with you.
It's
But
just what I hated about Call of Duty, man. I mean, I love the whole drop in, drop out gameplay. Like, you could pick up a game in 10 minutes and be done, and go to work and do whatever you want. But I mean, then again, I'm sorry, but the spawn points were horrible. They were so frustrating. There was nothing more that I hated that made me just rage quit every time than going into a game, spawning, and getting killed the second I actually saw the map like glow.
Yeah,
It was so
I'll agree
frustrating.
with you on that. The spawning was always bad. If I got mad at that game, it was because the spawning was really jacked up. But I'll
It
give Call of
was.
Duty this: they have the best party system. Battlefield sucks at party systems, but I
Yeah,
think that's just
even the
because
same party.
Garbage.
Battle-
I hate the fact that you can't even play with your friends half the time. You know, like it's so stupid.
But here's the thing: the reason that's why is because Battlefield was never supposed to be a console game.
No, it really wasn't.
It wasn't
really
supposed to be a
wasn't.
console game. It was
Yeah,
just
it
all
is.
pure
So
PC.
fix that shit. You know, like,
But they got
that's my whole critique. Is that it is a console game now, so fucking fix it. Like it's so annoying when you want to play with your friends and you can't.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, it would put you in the same party, but it would put you in two different teams for some bloody reason.
see
and-
now
and
where
it-
they went wrong with that, and the reason why it does that now is because of the whole rent your own server crap. That's what really switched it. Because let me be honest, when I first started playing Battlefield 3, it wasn't that hard to actually get into a party with your friends and form a squad right off the bat.
I think we
because the
did that
rooms were
too.
predetermined. But now, since that you got the whole, server thing, it's like an
There's
admin
too
can
many
move you
servers.
over, or the admin can boot you the second you get into the room. And it's frustrating as hell because I like playing with my friends. Like that's the one reason why I play Battlefield because I like going into a squad with these guys and just clearing out every single place that we go to, no matter what it is. And like that's the one thing that Call of Duty will always have over Battlefield is just the, in my opinion, of course, again, just saying that is just the party system.
Also, I think like the variety just keeps Battlefield up there as apart from Call of Duty. It's more the samey combat stuff. You're basically on ground all the time. You're fighting the same small area. You can't just like book it and go on a car on a plane
And
and
it's
just
pretty.
do some random thing that
It's
you
really
probably
for
want to do.
one thing we like to play on Call of Duty that we have the was Search and Destroy, and what I loved it, and I don't like to like say anything, but I thought I was really good at Call of Duty, so so it was pretty easy to predict where the player's gonna go, just because the map so after a
Yeah,
while once you get used to it it's just linear. It's like they're
Yeah.
gonna go through here and try to get to the objective. So you're just watching, and then they made Call of Duty so user friendly. Like Call of Duty 4, you didn't have much. You had your 3 perks, your 3 kill streaks, and
Hmm.
maybe an attachment or so, and
And
that was
everybody's
it.
the same thing, yeah.
But they kept going up and adding more, which is nice because like I don't like to bitch about things that they're just like trying to help the game out, but it was just more. Modern Warfare 2 by far is the worst game ever because quick scoping, drop shots. They had the heartbeat sensor.
I mean,
They
they
had
still
a
have
one
drop
man
shotting.
army. They had danger close. They
oh, and
had
we went
so
over
much.
this earlier. The snapping from Grand Theft Auto is like notorious for Call of Duty. If you're like close by and you're trying to headshot somebody, it's gonna automatically snap to their face. It's kind of annoying at some point, especially for like people who play PC games.
Yeah, no, it's true. I mean, I remember. You guys remember when I used to run around the map with Commando, and what was the other one for the knife for the extra reach?
Um,
Who's
Jesus Shank.
Commando?
Jesus armor. Yeah, that was a good one. I remember having Commando mode. I think that was the knife one, and then also the fast running perk.
Marathon.
There.
Marathon. Remember when I used to just run around the map continuously and just constantly just knife the entire team?
I
And
don't
but
remember.
see, you don't even have to. Oh my god,
There was like
I
no
hated
skill
it.
required. No skill required to do that.
And
That's why I did it all the time. 'Cause I pissed people off, and that was my
in Modern
objective back
Warfare
then.
4, it took whoever had the quickest reaction. That's what that game was about. If you had the quicker reaction,
You won.
especially in sniping or in knifing, if you had a quick reaction, you were golden. But in these games, like in Modern Warfare 2 and on, you can fucking shank that guy all the way in North Korea, where they never let you in. You can still get him. You're gonna get him no matter what, and you'll
Yeah,
kill him.
you put like
And
two
by the
bullets into somebody, and they'll still be able to like shank you.
Yeah, no, seriously. And you know what? That's what really came to the point where I was just like, this game's going downhill. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, they brought a lot of new things. I mean, well, not really a lot, but I mean, they switched it up to the point where it's a little bit more fair. But then you still have those crappy moments where you're just like, nah, screw this.
Oh, and the Matrix bullets.
Oh yeah,
My God.
gotta love those.
what do you mean by major? Is that where you're running behind a wall and they can pull you back?
Yeah, it somehow
Yeah.
hits you around the corner.
Oh, dude, I hate that.
So tickles you.
That is one of the absolute worst things. I'm like running behind the wall,
And
and it just pulls you back. It pulls you back. I don't know why.
it's more prevalent in like the Treyarch games because their lag compensation is so bad.
Well, yeah, that's the thing about that. I when I found out about lag compensation, I was a little bit peeved off. I mean, here I am paying all this money for, this awesome freaking internet connection. I mean, you guys see what I got. I got what I think it was 96 up and 30
Like
down,
60, yeah.
and I'm getting compensated because some douchebag in another state doesn't have good enough internet to keep up with mine.
He's got that AOL, man.
It's ridiculous. Walmart dial-up, and it pisses me off that they actually screw my shit up because some guy can't pay an extra $10.
Well, see, but in Black Ops, you can actually change your connection settings. There's a preference on search where you can
Yeah,
put
it
it
does that, but
to.
it doesn't help.
It still doesn't help because no matter what, there's still going to be the lag compensation.
Okay, because
Yeah,
I've
when
actually
you're playing by
changed it.
yourself though. Like if you're partying up at friends, then it kind of screws it up because, for 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 example, like if we're playing together, all of us live on different sides of the country. So Shane's over in New Jersey, you're in Texas, I'm in Vegas, and Onimar's in Southern California. So I mean, like, that's where it gets screwed up. If you're playing by yourself and it's only pairing you up with people that are in your immediate vicinity, then it actually works pretty good.
Yeah, but I never had a game actually like that. I mean, the amount of desync issues that I have playing Call of Duty, I I just don't want to play it. You know, I just
That's
So
the
don't.
best
I'm
one
the only one
when you
looking
have
forward to
people
Call of
next to
Duty.
you.
I'll give Call of Duty one another thing. They're pretty good. Was me having a good map. Like High Rise on Call of Duty 2 is one of my favorite maps. That map's really cool. Besides
Isn't
the
that a
entire gameplay of Call of Duty sucking,
Yeah, no,
but
like
they
it
always
really
had some
was.
pretty decent maps that are fun. But I did say they're linear. Once you start playing the game more often, of course, because you're gonna know
They
where
at
are.
people
some
might
point
go.
they're not very
They really are.
memorable. It's like a
But what
blueprint.
they do a pretty good job with the creativity of these maps. Because High Rise, I mean, you're fighting on top of buildings with offices, and that's just so cool. I
Yeah, but I
thought
mean,
that's
like,
pretty legit.
here's the thing, though. I mean, going back to Battlefield 3, 3 and 4, you know, call it that. Honestly, their map design, in my opinion, is so much better. I mean, there's a lot more detail, in my opinion, and also just the sheer size of it. Even with their close quarters combat DLC, it was so perfect. You know what I mean? Everything just fit well together, and it wasn't like Call of Duty where you knew where everyone's gonna go. There was different routes to go everywhere. So, I mean, you went to one spot where you think no one's gonna be. Next thing you know, you got a guy coming around the corner, putting a shotgun in your face and saying goodnight.
Or you could go 2 miles without finding anybody.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, it all came down to it. But then again, if people play the objective,
That's
But
so
then that's
much
like
fun.
the perfect spot for those 300-yard sniper shots.
oh god, yeah, I
It's
love
like what?
sniping that game. Let me tell
I
you
do like
that.
the destruction
I think
in
another reason why Battlefield kind of pisses me off too, and I don't know if they fix this because I haven't played it in a while, is all those goddamn bush campers, man. Those people who just hang out in a bush.
Bush Wookiees.
Yeah, dude, you can see them, you can see you. Like, what the hell's that all about?
Those are the snipers.
Yeah, I know, but if I'm in real life and I'm hanging out in the middle of a bush, I'm not going to be able to see you. Like,
it would if you have a sniper in Battlefield, they did it to where your scope actually shines, which is pretty cool. Unless you're
Yeah,
sniping, but
kind of like the Last of Us, right? If you start
yeah,
scoping somebody,
yeah, you'll see the shine on it, which is really
snapping in
cool.
The Last of Us is hard.
yeah, it's like it's
Yeah,
because their control is so clunky. It has that like slow movement kind of thing. It's like weighted to
But
kind of like how you
but
play Killzone.
that's the thing about was the Last of Us though, is that it's so survivor based that you really try not to use all your bullets at
Yeah,
all.
you try to like
And
make people.
I don't know about you guys, but I beat the game on the hardest difficulty. I don't know if you guys have done that yet,
Nah,
but it's I love that game to death. You guys gonna find you
doesn't
guys
it
know
take
that, but
away like the hearing thing when you play Survivor?
yeah, you can't do the listen mode, so
Yeah,
you gotta do it off your instinct. So that's another thing that's tacked on. And when you're playing it's rare you're gonna find items in different places. So you're just saving up ammo. You're never really gonna fully upgrade a weapon. So you're just going and so you're just trying to figure out how to make shivs. You're never gonna open all the shiv doors.
you're gonna be low on health packs.
Dude, it's intense. And that's the thing about The Last of Us is that you're just really playing to survive
Yeah, I
with
think
Joel
that's
and
the thing.
Ellie.
That's the thing with most of the games today. It's like they try to cater to the gamer. It's like it's not about the game anymore. It's about making the experience like palatable for you, so you can like go through it, finish everything. It's not like say you play Dark Souls, they just drop you in there, everything's gonna kill you, or like Survivor difficulty on Last of Us, where they just take away everything, so you have to figure things out for yourself. It's not like guiding you like step by step or anything.
That's where a lot of games go wrong, though. And I'm sorry, but it's all. Alright, can we all agree that, FPS games are now pretty much the dominant thing?
Yeah,
They're they are, but dominant's not always a good thing, just because they're really popular. I don't know why,
Yeah,
honestly.
remember like World War II games?
They're the same shit over and over again, no matter what you do to it.
Yeah, but I
Exactly.
think
See,
I'll
that's
agree
my
with you
point.
on that, but
most
they're
popular
just going downhill.
there, yeah.
I mean, that's just
There's
the
some pretty
point.
good
It's
ones still, but
ridiculous. I mean, I'd rather have a game that's a third person now. I'd take that way over, before a first person. And it's just the fact because all these games are trying to do the same exact thing, but they're trying to put their own twist on it. But yet, you know, what much more can you do to, the same genre? There's nothing that you can really do. And it's all the same crap that we just play over and over again. I hate it. I despise it. That's why I like gaming now is just, it's not the same that it used to be. I remember when it was nice and fresh. Everything was always new. Everything was changing. I was excited about things, and now it's just like, now they have to really work hard to wow me.
But that's what I think is pretty exciting about the next gen, systems, especially like the Sony systems. Like they're so big on indie experiences now that you are going to start seeing a lot of that because a lot of these indie developers are doing things that the major studios just won't do. I mean, you're a Steam guy, so have you played Hotline Miami on your computer?
I played a demo of it. It was actually a fun game. I
yeah,
mean,
it's really
Hotline
good.
Miami is amazing, and I've been playing the shit out of it on my PlayStation Vita. There's a whole bunch of other experiences out there too, like Guacamelee, if you like Metroidvania kind of games.
yeah.
Um,
Welcome, at least
sound
cool, man.
shapes,
Guacamelee is
fantastic
amazing, dude.
sound shape, great. What was that?
It might be sensitive to the people who are Hispanic, but Guacamelee is pretty awesome.
Guacamelee is kind of like that. It
Isn't
has so many
Guacamelee a
interesting
Canadian
themes on
game?
it. What's that?
Uh, I think I could.
Isn't Guaca? I think Guacamelee is made by a Canadian company.
No, Drop. What's his name? Juice Box or something like that. Let me see.
I could have sworn they're a Canadian company. It was like,
Drink
if that's so,
Drink
should've-
Box Studio.
should have been like a maple syrup melee or something.
Yeah, it is from Toronto, Canada.
Or
There you go.
1 point for Gryffindor.
Yeah, that game's really good. There are other games really good too. The one with the God, now I can't even remember the name, but you're basically like this big
Cloudberry?
old blob of ooze. What's it called?
Wait, what? Cloudberry Kingdom or?
No. It's the same people who make Guacamelee, and you're this big blob, mutant blob attacks
Tales,
like that.
yeah. Tales from Space.
Yeah, that game is amazing as well. But I mean, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, like in a world that's just being so saturated with first-person shooters, I mean, next gen is actually kind of cool because, especially like with stuff like the PlayStation Vita, a lot of people are starting to make jokes about it, calling it, the indie machine. But I'm okay with that. I think that if it's going to offer me experiences that I can't get on my current gen consoles, I think that's going to be really cool.
There's a bunch of like indie first person kind of, what do you call it? Horror games, I guess. But in the vein of Amnesia. What's it
Yeah,
called?
some of those look pretty cool.
Yeah,
I've seen some
Daylight.
videos.
From Zombie Studios, where basically like you don't have any weapons, all you have is a cell phone, and you're trapped in this building.
And your cell phone's the light, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't that like the only thing you're using for light? Yeah, dude, that's so trippy. I was watching
And
a
each
video
time
of
you
that.
play the game, every time you die, it generates new rooms. It's kind of like it's called Persona. You guys play Persona 4, right? Where it generates like different dungeons every time. It like randomly generates the building, so like every time you play, it's a different experience. So if you die, you discover something about like the story. It's not like a repetitive thing where most of the games are now.
So pretty much every time you play through, it's always a new experience.
Yeah. And probably find something about the story that you wouldn't have come across like 10 game playthroughs ago.
So like, stuff like that is nice because it keeps everything fresh and brings a lot of replayability to a game. But I mean, like, you're not gonna be able to see that in like many games that come out now, especially from these main industries. They're not gonna think about that. They're gonna be thinking about straight through great experience gameplay, and then it just stops. And then they always depend on multiplayer to pick up the slack.
Yeah, I think they're going for that Hollywood bombastic film feel.
Yeah, they're really trying to make
Especially-
movies out of these games now, and it's just, it's kind of getting old. It really
That's why,
is.
like, I think, especially now, like, campaigns have been like shrinking in like length and time. It's like 3 hours, 5 hours.
Well,
Before they were like what, 20 hours.
companies know, like people, like different companies that make games know that everyone who's gonna stick with a video game wants to have a good online mode. That's why Call of Duty's doing so well because they stick, I guess, to a formula which everyone just doesn't mind. I mean, I've grown tired of it. I don't know how many people have grown tired of it, but no matter which way you look at it, Call of Duty is always going to be popular just because
Yeah,
people
people will
like
buy
that
it.
online.
Yep.
Yeah.
And stories have been getting shorter. That's why, like, I don't see many people getting excited for Final Fantasy anymore, and those storylines are ridiculously long. Skyrim, that one, you can just kill. You
Oh,
can
one
waste your
thing.
life.
Yeah, not really. That was.
I
Fantasy
You can
though.
recently got
waste your
back into
life.
the game, and I have been wasting my life in Skyrim.
I had to stop playing Skyrim because school started up for me. But Ransom here was the one that got me back into it, and I'm like, this is. I don't know why I stopped playing this. And I'm like, they're like, there's a sun outside. Where's the fucking dragon? Fuck that. I'm gonna go back and just keep playing with my Dawnbreaker. You just like you lose yourself in those games, dude. And
Yeah,
that's what
for
I
me
like
it was
about
crazy
stories.
too because like with Skyrim, like the reason I stopped playing Skyrim is because my first console that I was playing it on it crashed, and I was like, damn, I already had like 100 hours in this game. I'm so pissed off that I lost it, because it was on
You
my
didn't
hard
back
drive.
up to like the cloud or anything?
No, because I wasn't on PlayStation Plus at the time.
Oh, I think
And
that's like one of the biggest things about Plus. It's just it does a daily backup of your saves. I don't even care about the free games or the other services. It's just like it's so
I care about
convenient.
the free games.
yeah, and I wish so that I had it because like now I have it and I think it's fantastic. But I lost like 100 hours. But here's
Yeah,
the thing: once I got back into the game, I didn't mind. Like I started like just doing all these things, and I actually started playing the game completely different than I played it the first time. Because the first time I was playing as a warrior, and I was just like slashing everything with my sword. And I was just like, you know what? Like I was so like in everybody's face last time I played it. This time I'm just gonna be like hella sneaky. I'm gonna be an archer, and I love it, man. So like that's another thing I love about Skyrim is that like you could just play it so many different ways, and I think that's why when I got back into it, it just for me it was worth it. And once I'm finished with GTA 5, I'll probably get back into Skyrim to be completely
Once
honest.
I think once I finish, well, I lent Last of Us to a friend of mine, but once I get it back, probably this Monday or so, we can do
play
a little
multiplayer.
online multiplayer. But I think I'm gonna give the story another go, which is gonna be like my seventh or eighth time. Dude, I love stories. Like, I'm just one of those people who if I buy a video game, I want it to have a really good story. I really do. Like, I
It's
guess
almost
I'm
a
the
must.
opposite. I'm like the opposite, I guess, of what the popular demand is nowadays because people want it online. Well, I want a story,
Yeah, you
and I
play for
real
the campaign. I mean, that's what we
yeah,
started with the old games, with the classic like Mario, even on the PS2 and PS1. It's we want to know what happens here, and
yeah, and
then
like Resistance was another game. Resistance was the very first online game I've ever played, and that was
yeah,
fantastic. I got hooked. I didn't even beat the story on Resistance
I
because I got
never
hooked on the
that.
online.
That was like me in SOCOM.
I never beat the story, but
I think I beat the
after
second and the third one, but not the
after a
first.
little it was the story online on the second one sucked. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, like I just was like, I don't even like this. I'm just gonna go finish the
They,
campaign.
they
And
they really made it too. I like co-op. I love co-op,
co-op
but
was fun, but the multiplayer was kind of.
yeah they made it
Wasn't
too
it like a
co-op-y.
lot of people? Wasn't it like 200 people or something?
For
No,
which one?
that's Mag, and Mag was a
No,
piece of
for
shit.
No, Mag screwed it up. I mean, I'm sorry, but they should have not have ever released a game that has 200 and what was it, 200
257.
260.
260, I think.
Yeah,
There's
Yeah,
no way that you could do that
No, but
for
Oni's right.
honors.
Like the second Resistance had like 64 player maps.
yeah.
yeah.
It was
Yeah, but that was okay because it was optimized and it all worked out. But I mean, like Mag, I felt like I was playing a computer game like on Windows 95.
yeah,
Like it was
it
just
did look
horrible.
ugly. It was horrible.
what's wrong with Windows 95?
Everything. It's like trying to fucking make Windows 8 work.
Hey, I have Windows 8, and Windows 8 is not as
Hey,
bad as
hey, hey, hey.
It's not as bad, but I mean, honestly, dude, Windows 8 was really designed for touchscreens. You know what I
It
mean?
is this tablets. I'll give it that, but I mean, I don't see why people bitch like, "Where's my start button?" There's a start button on the fucking keyboard. You
I mean,
fucking lazy dick.
for gamers specifically, it was like a big issue because
You built your own rig. Don't buy the OS of
yeah,
Windows
well,
like
that's
that.
what I mean. But like, everyone wants to jump on the bandwagon and get the next OS, and it's just like everyone did that, and it was so depressing. Like, I didn't do it because I read into it, man. It was just, ugh.
People should have known Windows
Didn't they
fucks
put
up
it on a different like
every other OS.
games?
There's Vista, which fucking
That
blew
wasn't that bad.
geek dicks, and then there's Windows 7, and then there's Windows 8, which went downhill, but still isn't all that bad. But people should know that Windows fucks up OS every other thing. It's sort of like their console. They made Xbox, which is okay, but it kind of sucked against PlayStation 2, and
Red
then
Ring.
360 actually did really. 360 actually kept up, but now they made the Xbox One, and they're like, "Whoa, Jesus Christ, might as well trip for our own small penises, I guess."
Yeah, I don't know why they keep trying to sell cloud computing so much. It's not gonna work. Like Shane was talking about,
Apparently, it's the future.
we just don't
Everything's the
have that
future.
infrastructure yet. Like half of the country doesn't even have like reasonable internet where they can get like
Fiber.
decent 2020.
Google Fiber.
Yeah, yeah. When we all get it in like 2055. But I
Yeah.
mean, like, that was the one thing that kind of threw me off. I was gonna get the Xbox One, and I was really planning on getting that first before the PS4.
What's
But
wrong with you?
then I'm sorry,
What's
I
wrong
like
with
the
you?
I like the controller.
I'm
The
joking.
controller sells me. But
Oh, I used the controller at the expo and
it's nice.
it's bulky. It's nice, but
bulky.
it
But
feels
still,
like the
it fits my hands. For people like me
Yeah,
that
but
have huge hands, it's like
you don't have huge
I
hands.
really do. I'm serious.
Stop complimenting
I
yourself.
got big hands. You know what they say about
Huge
big
hands
hands,
to
right?
what? Fucking Frodo?
do you guys remember the Duke controller from the original Xbox?
Oh,
It's about that size, and the analog sticks are like the nickel size. It's horrible. I'm like, this is such a large contrast. It doesn't even work for me
oh,
anymore.
wait, but before I continue what I was saying, did you get your hands on the PS4 controller?
Yeah, I got my hands on that, and it wraps around on your palms a lot better. Kind of like the GameCube controllers.
All right, my only question is that do the
kinda
sticks are they like the same distance from each other, or are they a little bit further apart?
I think they're about the same distance. It's just it feels different because they're concave now. They're not
I
convex
mean, the
anymore.
one
So
issue I always have while playing on the PS3 is that my thumbs fucking collide.
no, you can actually separate them out because you don't have to have your thumb on the top of the convex nubs.
All right, good.
You can
That's
have them
what I
like-
did know.
collide? What the fuck? I'm 6'1", and my thumbs never collide. What fucking angles are you going
I'm
at?
serious. It's fucking big. But all right, like I was saying before about it.
Pythagorean theorem that shit and figure out your angles, dude.
Exactly. But the one thing about the Xbox, man, like especially when they say that you have to be online all the time, I might pay for good internet, man, but I still have times where my internet will go out. So
Yeah, that
if I'm
happens.
playing a single player game and my internet goes out, why the hell do I have to be connected to play a single player game?
Yeah, but they reversed all their shit. They should be called, like, as everyone knows, the Xbox 180, because they just were like, you know what? We're
You don't
retarded.
actually believe that part yet?
That's because all their sales went out.
If you have Xbox right now, and if you bought like a game off Xbox Live and your internet goes down, it gives you a notice that it goes down in about 10 minutes,
Yeah.
and you can play that shit.
It is.
No way.
Don't,
Really?
don't count it
Yeah.
out. Just
Serious.
Huh.
It'll tell you that you have 10 minutes to play the game and get to a save point.
That sounds like if you're playing a time trial, dude. That's so
Yeah.
stupid. It sounds like if I'm playing a time trial on my PlayStation console, it's like you got 25 minutes until this expires.
It's like, get back online or we're gonna shoot your console and you can't do nothing.
You can't do nothing about it. You need about 50 to fix this.
It's horrible. Ransom, did you fall asleep?
No, man.
Okay.
I was listening to you guys bitching and complaining. I was about to go make some popcorn because you guys are getting fucking serious about this shit. Holy crap.
Well, it's a serious issue. I'm sorry, but I can't really trust a company that's gonna switch on their policies here.
I know, you
Yeah,
want to
but
play a game. You,
Do that,
it's,
though. You know, like all companies do. I'm sure that Sony's done it. I'm sure that Nintendo's done it.
Yeah, but not like
Wait.
that.
no,
They never go like
'cause
mad
gaming,
public about it.
gaming started as a social thing, was people around you playing a sort of single player or maybe a multiplayer thing with friends around you. You never needed internet. Fucking back then, no one played Pong over internet, dude. Fuck that. People played together.
You can play
offline.
Pong online now.
Oh no shit, Sherlock! You can play Tron online. Have you played Tron online? That's pretty cool. Anyways, it's always just been about playing offline. That's how it started. And then they want to go and change it to where you have to be online all the time. I don't know who came up with that idea, but they were taking a shit and they're like, huh.
We could
Actually, the
really
big,
make some money off of this.
where it came from is because GameStop is gaining this ground on game publishers' profits. So they had to like find a back door so that they need you to buy a new copy, or at least get like the digital download of it. That online connection keeps track of that this is a legitimate copy, not purchased pre-owned, or we're gonna shut down your game, basically.
It's still, I mean, it's still not fair to people though. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I mean, I have
it's
family
not.
members that,
This is
honestly they can't
America.
afford it. So, I'll lend them my game so they can play it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
things
that's
like
what I did
that.
with The Last of Us. My friend couldn't, he couldn't buy it because he didn't have enough money. And I'm like, well, I've played this about 6 times, so you know what? Here you go, man. Sure,
I think
what was it?
was that.
No, go ahead, go ahead.
The thing is, Sony was kind of being nice about the online passes, as opposed to EA like requiring you to buy the $10. Well, they don't now, but if you purchase like a pre-owned game off of GameStop, Sony will actually print you an online pass on your receipt, so you could still play it even if you didn't buy it brand new, just so they could keep track of like the stuff or the what do you call it, the stock going out, even if it's not making them any profit.
Yeah, it's pretty much like throwing out, not used food in a restaurant. You're keeping count
Yeah,
of what your waste is, but you're still,
Yeah, it's
making
like
an account for it.
if you eat at McDonald's and you look at the box that it says, just part of this is 30% like consumer waste.
Yeah.
You're eating someone else's food, but you don't know about it. But you do now, whoever's listening. So and I don't know if you guys know this, but McDonald's makes chicken wings now. I don't know.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah,
That,
they're called Mighty Wings, right?
yeah, they're
Mighty
called
Wings.
Mighty Wings. That is
give you powers.
they give that is ridiculous. There was an article I read about that. McDonald's has always tried different foods. They used to try to make pizza or hot dogs. I don't know why the hot dog thing went down. That sounds
I
pretty
would
cool.
be so
Oh, did you guys know
afraid
that the Happy Meals have Batman
to
toys
eat
right
a
now?
McDonald's hot dog.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's all meet up right now and go get some McDonald's Happy Meal toys.
Just wow.
Broncos in the middle of the country, so let's meet up in El Paso.
Yeah, I'm in the center. You guys gotta come here.
Let's just go meet up in Amsterdam. Have a lot of fun.
That's kind of far.
I don't do drugs or alcohol. Okay.
They have a lot more there, buddy.
They got the red
I
light
think-
district, the best
I
red
think
light.
I've already got my fix on hookers and weed on Grand Theft Auto 5.
How many of you have wasted money on hookers and then got it back?
On what?
Come on. I'm polite. I let them keep my money, you assholes.
You're too nice, man.
I actually let them keep the money.
Oh, forget that.
Dude, it's only like $300 or $100 or how much it
Oh,
ever cost.
they just posted the new season pass content for Last of Us, and apparently it's a new character and new story mission.
Yeah, for the single player. I heard that it's not going to come out till December or January. But
That's a long wait.
as long as because they're, I think it said they're still going to start doing the mocap stuff. Like recently, they're just going to start doing all the directing and process for the single
That's not
player
bad.
DLC.
For $20, like basically getting an entire game separate.
Well, you know what? You know what I really want is for them to do like a horde or survivor mode with
Oh, yeah.
the cordyceps. Dude, that'd be so legit.
That would be so hard though, because they do those one-hit kills with the grabs
Oh.
from cordyceps,
Yeah.
and everyone else can do the ridiculous like melee. So you probably just
Yeah.
get
And I've told Ransom this probably numerous times, but I'll be like, dude, it'd be so badass, like what they do in Metal Gear Solid 4. Like you can be like one of the characters. I think they should let you be like Joel or Ellie. Like one of the game modes should let you just be like the actual main character. 'Cause that'd be fucking legit.
Oh my god. I think that's kind of a
All
bad
right, guys,
strategy
it's
for
been
them.
going on
But
for
yeah, that's kind
a
of
little bit over an hour now, so we should probably wrap things up.
indeed.
oh shit,
indeed.
we are huh?
Yeah.
2 hours and 3 minutes.
Well, I'm
look
looking at
this.
the Skype time, and I'm like, how long is this going? But we've been trying to get this thing going for a while, so I honestly don't know
Yeah.
the official time.
Yeah, we've been talking about this podcast for about 2 weeks now, so I think we got about 2 weeks worth of venting.
I wouldn't know about talking about the podcast. There's like little sporadic moments of like, hey, when do we want to do this?
It's like, what are we playing? When are we doing?
Hey, all that matters is that it's done and we're actually
After-
doing it. So
Half the group answers.
So,
So I hope
Rance,
you guys
want to
get
close it?
episode 1, Nerd Rage in the Cage. Just keep it right here, and we'll be doing another episode probably next week, right? Next Friday?
yeah, definitely.
And we might be playing something this time.
Yeah, hopefully. We should get
Last of
Shane
Us.
to get Last of Us. That'd be great.
Yeah. You should really get The Last of Us.
And find out a way to stream
Fucking
it.
Hillbilly.
I'd have to get
Stop.
my PlayStation in my room to stream.
Stop wasting money on alcohol, you bastard. You buy The Last of
Sorry,
Us.
had to loosen up before I came on here.
All right, guys. We'll see you guys next week.
Your vagina's loosened up.
Oh my god. The things.
What a way to end the show.